Kia ora tātou, malolele, talofa lava. It's wonderful to be back in a school. I unfortunately had to leave my job to take on this role, but once a teacher, always a teacher. So it's just wonderful to be back in the whānau environment of a school again. So kia ora. And thank you very much to NZEI, a wonderful union which has created this, and to the school here which has created the space for us all to be here. We need to feed our kids, we need to make sure that they are in warm, dry houses, and we need to make sure that we have a really strong 21st century state education system for them to learn in. And we have to work together to achieve this, because if we cannot work together, then we are lost. So this means that political parties have to work together, but it also means that political parties have to work with those sectors in the community, such as teachers, unions, support services, people who work at the front lines, because you are the experts. And we're sold at the moment this idea by the current national government that we have an education system in crisis, and that is absolute rubbish. The only crisis that we have in our education system is a minister who dismisses the views of teachers who are the experts. You only have to look at the recent IES, the vote with NZEI, and they voted for 93%, overwhelmingly rejected it, and the minister dismissed that, and they're going to plough on ahead with it. We have to work together to change the government because of this. The Internet Mana Party brings and weaves together two strands, and they look like two quite different groups, but we realise that we've got a lot of common goals. We have a shared vision, and we realise that the current situation as it stands is not working for everybody, and that's not good enough. In terms of education, like I said, our biggest problem is that the current minister is not listening to us. And so Internet Mana Party is very much about listening to those in the communities and listening to those on the ground, because we need to have your participation in creating our policies and in helping us make decisions. We must also, Internet Mana Party, like the Greens and also like Labour, would review and probably scrap national standards and charter schools, because it's ridiculous that we are importing education policies from overseas systems that actually are in crisis, all to suit the ideology of a very small but very vocal party, who is notably not here tonight. We're also very concerned about the digital divide. Inequality is one of the big issues that Internet Mana is focused on, inequality, climate change, mass surveillance, and other issues that are going to be defining our generation for the next 70 years are ones that we need to work together on, because if we don't, and if my generation doesn't step up and start taking some responsibility, then we're all going to be left behind. And part of this is also the digital divide. We have currently about 200,000 children who live without the internet in their homes, and the internet now has become a really essential tool for communication and knowledge sharing, and without this access, then it excludes a huge chunk of the population who are growing up without it. And so we would we would triple the funding into ICT in schools, and that would also, a lot of that would go into supporting teachers in their professional development and ensuring that they are well supported. I have a lot that I want to say, but I also want to just say that education is just one part of those things that work for the well-being and the health of children, and there are many other things in New Zealand at the moment that can be done to raise levels of educational achievement, but also raise to create a divide. Decrease the divide and inequality. And so we would bring in a Feed the Kids program, which would ensure that all children in lower decile schools at first would be well fed when they come to school for breakfast and lunch, to ensure that they can learn. We would also work to solve the housing crisis by ensuring that we have 30,000 new state homes built over 3 years of the next government. Thank you, and ask me questions, because I want to talk to you more. Thank you very much.